In this video, we will talk about the tools used by the ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians were one of the most advanced civilizations in the world. They had many tools that helped them in their daily life, whether in agriculture, construction, industry, or medicine. In this video, we will talk about the most important tools they used. Before we start, please subscribe and like the video. The ancient Egyptians used a variety of tools made from different materials, such as stone, wood, copper, gold, and ivory. First, we will talk about the construction tools. The Egyptians used chisels made of bronze or copper for carving rocks. The hammer was also used with the chisel or for breaking stones. It could be made of wood or stone. They used saws made of copper for cutting wood and soft stones. The water level was used for adjusting the levelness of walls. Ropes and weights were used for determining angles and measurements. They used wooden cranes and pulleys for transporting large stones. Then we will talk about agricultural tools. The sickle was used for harvesting wheat and barley. The wooden plough was pulled by oxen for ploughing the land. The shadoof was used for raising water from the Nile River to irrigate the land. Baskets were used for carrying crops or soil. After that, we will talk about medical and surgical tools. The Egyptians kept many surgical instruments made of copper, including scalpels and forceps. These tools were used for minor surgical operations. Needles were used for medical sutures. The mortar and pestle were used for grinding medicinal herbs. The ancient Egyptians had many tools for industrial use, such as the spindle and loom, which were used for making fabrics. They also used needles and sticks for weaving clothes. In addition, they used fine chisels for engraving jewelry or statues. They also used casting molds for casting gold and copper for jewelry. The ancient Egyptians kept many tools for writing, such as reed brushes or quills made of reeds, stone, or papyrus tablets for writing on, and inks made of vegetables and minerals. Now, let's move on to the most important tools used by the ancient Egyptians in detail. The first tool is the shadoof. The shadoof is an ancient Egyptian tool that was used to raise water from the Nile River to irrigate the land. It is basically a long pole that is used as a lever to lift a bucket of water from the river to a higher level where it can be distributed to the fields. The Egyptians were able to use the shadoof because of their advanced knowledge of mechanics and their ability to create tools that could harness the power of the lever. They placed one end of the pole in the water and then used their body weight to tilt the pole and lift the bucket of water. The shadoof was an essential tool for the ancient Egyptians because it allowed them to grow crops in the desert. Without it, they would not have been able to survive in their environment. The second tool is the Egyptian plough. The Egyptian plough was a simple tool that was used for ploughing the land in preparation for planting crops. It was basically a wooden board that was attached to a wooden handle, and it was pulled by oxen. The plough was used to cut through the soil and turn it over so that the seeds could be planted more easily. It was also used to remove rocks and other debris from the soil so that it could be properly prepared for planting. The Egyptian plough was an important tool because it allowed the Egyptians to farm the land more efficiently and produce more food. The third tool is the Egyptian sickle. The Egyptian sickle was a tool that was used for harvesting crops such as wheat and barley. It was basically a curved blade that was attached to a wooden handle, and it was used to cut the crops as they ripened. The sickle was an important tool because it allowed the Egyptians to collect their crops more quickly and easily. It also helped them to store their food supply for the future. The fourth tool is the Egyptian water clock. The Egyptian water clock was a device that was used to measure time. It was basically a container that was filled with water, and the amount of water that leaked out of the container over a period of time was used to measure intervals of time. The water clock was an important tool because it allowed the Egyptians to keep track of time. This helped them to keep track of the seasons and to plan their farming activities accordingly. It also helped them to tell the time of day so that they could work efficiently. These are just a few of the many tools that were used by the ancient Egyptians. Each of these tools played an important role in the life of the ancient Egyptians and helped them to thrive in their environment. If you like this video, please subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for watching. See you next time.